Hello, you may have seen on YouTube that there are warnings about using ad blockers. Now, I rely on advertisements to actually pay for what I do. If I don't get money from advertisements, I am unable to do what I do. Indeed, YouTube as a platform for delivering advertisements is really good. I used to run a magazine. I used to spend more time trying to get advertisements in than probably writing the editorial for the magazine. So YouTube for me is fantastic. They take care of the advertising. Indeed, it's the advertisers who buy the advertisements. There's no sales team, as far as I'm aware, Google going out, ringing people up, trying to get advertisements. I have a demographic which is absolutely clear from what I actually do. I know the age profile, the gender profile, and the probable financial resources profile of the people who watch my channel. So this is a fantastic way for advertisers to reach their potential buyers. But if I don't have access to advertisements, I cannot pay for what I do. Indeed, what I do on this channel, I do reviews which are unbiased. It can only remain unbiased if I have access to external advertising. I could, of course, do biased reviews where the manufacturers of whatever it is I'm showing actually pays me to do the advertisements. Indeed, I get about one offer every single day to do paid advertisements. Now, and if I were doing things like this, my income would be, without any exaggeration, around 7 times higher. I calculated it only last week, what it would have been had I actually started doing this some time ago. So from that point of view, it's the advertisements that allow me to do this. I do it like this because this is what I feel I'm giving value for money in doing it this way for the advertisers, by delivering the people to the advertisements which appear on my channel. Now, the problem with YouTube ad blocker warnings is the following: it doesn't work. Google Chrome has now has been putting up on my channel for about on my screen, I should say, for the past 3 weeks, a warning that a video will be blocked after 2 videos or 1 video. So I'm allowed 3 videos, and then I'm no longer allowed to access YouTube. And the reason is because I'm using an ad blocker. The thing is, I'm not using an ad blocker. There is no block on it whatsoever. And this is creating now a problem. Now, I use other browsers. And so, for example, on Edge, which I don't like, but you can actually get around this by changing the tracking prevention on it. So you change the tracking prevention from strict to balanced, and you can continue to watch, for the moment anyway. I don't know if that will change. And on Avast, it's working without any problem at all. It was very there is an ad blocker on it, but I mean, I turned it off. So for YouTube, it's always been off. So I personally think it's immoral for people to actually put ad blockers on things like YouTube. And the reason I think it's immoral is this: it's a bit like using public transport. People rely on the advertisements to pay for what they do. And if, for example, you've got newspapers, I'll take the example of Independent or The Guardian in the United Kingdom, they absolutely rely on advertisements to pay for the free service they give, because alternatively one has to pay. They have to pay their staff. I cannot go to trade fairs without money. I cannot go to the fuel station and say, fill me up with diesel, please, because the ad blockers are on my videos. I don't have any money coming in, therefore I can't give you any money. So would BP or Shell fill up my vehicle for nothing because the ad blockers are on? Of course they won't, and this is the problem. Now, what I therefore would suggest to anybody is not to use ad blockers. People who use the ad blockers, like using public transport free of charge, it's okay, that train will be running if you're paying or you're not paying. That is true. But because one person doesn't pay, that everybody else has to contribute to that one person paying. So if you don't have money, well, there's other choices, aren't there? You could try hitchhiking, and that's what I used to do when I didn't have any money. I didn't get on the train and try not to pay for it. So I get there's a woman who would say underneath all my videos, I don't like advertisements. Aha, but there's a solution to this. You can take YouTube Premium. And this is what I think YouTube is trying to do now. It's trying to get people to go onto the premium service. I can potentially see actually a problem with this, because if people use a VPN, the cost of it varies from country to country. In the United States, I think it's the most expensive. I've seen the cost in other countries that I've actually traveled in. And indeed, I've also noticed that the cost of using the advertisements changes from country to country as well. So, I mean, if you use a VPN, if you put your VPN to, I don't know, maybe in Zimbabwe there aren't so many advertisements, then you won't get so many. Of course, there will come a moment when YouTube doesn't work with the VPN. Some websites already don't work with VPNs, and that stands to reason, because the whole point of this is hitting the person with directed advertising. It's no point in advertising things like baby clothing to somebody like me. I don't buy it. On the other hand, it makes a lot of sense sending things to me such as tires or financial services or something like that, something I'm more likely to actually use. So I am a bit wound up by this at the moment. I always get a bit wound up about people complaining about advertisements. I don't understand why they just don't take YouTube Premium. Thing is, they want it for nothing. Now, unfortunately, there are the freeloaders always. Now, one thing though I think that YouTube may be shooting itself in the foot in is that the amount of people actually using ad blockers, according to research that I saw, was like something like between 15 and 20% of users. But if they're already using the ad blockers, not only that, it seems that they're not the ones who are more financially significant as far as buying the adverts in the first place is. And that is so. If they then hit the other 80 to 85% who are not using ad blockers, what this will do is it will chase people off YouTube and onto other platforms. Now, I agree with the principle of not allowing ad blockers on YouTube, which violates their terms of service anyway. I agree with the principle, but it has to work. And if in a case like I have got, it's failing to work, then it's a big problem. Anyway, here's a little message I sent to YouTube today. So there we go. Oops, sorry, wrong way down. I'll make it a bit bigger. So there you go. Video player will be blocked after 2 videos. And my response: I am now getting a bit annoyed by this. There is no ad blocker. I am being delivered ads. I am a YouTuber. I live from ads being delivered, and blocking the video player stops ads being delivered. The only ad blocker I have got is the YouTube video player. And so that is the effect it's having on me. And just have a look. There you go. Ad blockers violate YouTube's terms of service. So I am more than a bit cheesed off about constantly. I mean, effectively, this means that I can't use Google Chrome any longer. Who owns Google Chrome? There's a good question. I'll turn the whole thing. And who owns YouTube? There's another good question. Put the two things together And I would suggest, if anybody's watching this from Google, and of course there isn't anybody watching it from Google, then I think you ought to get your act together. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is slightly different to what I normally do, and but if you have opinions on this subject, then you might want to write them down in the space below.